Good afternoon, everyone. I welcome all of you to this session. And we have with us Mohit Rajpal, our alumni. The today's session is on the entrepreneurship. And I'm sure that all of you are going to learn a lot from this session and also enjoy this session. So I welcome all the participants on behalf of IMT CDL. And I would like to give a brief intro of Mohit. Mohit is a serial entrepreneur, and he has been a co-founder of MyTaxi India. And right now, Mohit is associated with eka.care, which is a digitized healthcare infrastructure organization. He is the founding member as well as the head of GTM-Partnership. Mohit has been also associated with Make My Trip. So I'm sure his experience will bring a lot on the table, and from his experience, a lot of upcoming or budding entrepreneur would like to go through his experience and learn a lot and apply it in their ventures. So I once again welcome Mohit. I welcome all the participants. Over to you, Mohit. We can begin now with the webinar. I request all the participants to please keep their mic and video on the mute. And whenever you have a question, whenever Mohit asks you for the question intermittently, then please only switch on your mic. So once again, welcome to all. And I am over to you, Mohit.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Preeti, and thanks a lot for the warm welcome. Good evening, all of you. Thanks for giving an opportunity to be part of this session. I'm sure that next 1 hour would add some value to your lives, and I'm sure that you are going to get something from this session. So I would make it very crisp, and definitely since it's a 1 hour session, so we would have some bit of theoretical and practical knowledge, which I would share what I've gone through. And then definitely would be open for a Q&A session, right? So we can start, ma'am, or if you want, we can wait for 2-3 minutes if other participants are joining.
So we can begin, Mohit. You can start with the session. Sure. I think people can join.
Sure. Okay. So great. So we would start with the topic as entrepreneurship, right? And before I jump and go deep into it, I would just like to tell you something about myself, like what I've done, what I'm doing currently, and then we will go deep on the entrepreneurship. Just a request, if the participants can put themselves on mute, and definitely if you have any questions, please either put it on chat or I would be happy to take on Q&A session. So myself, Mohit Rajpal, like I am associated with eka.care, Eka as a founding member. So I look after GTM-Partnerships. So what is eka.care? Eka.care is a healthcare startup, which is actually digitizing the patient experience to better outcomes. We have also built a beautiful and AI-enabled technology for doctors and a care provider, and which is definitely helping in, which is helping in their medical practice. So basically our system is enhancing their medical practice. On the other side, we also have a patient side app. So we are the platform who allow patients to keep their medical records whenever they want to. And just for an information, we are the same team who built Arogya Setu for the country. So the man behind Arogya Setu is Vikalp Sani, who is the CEO of eka.care. He was the one who built Arogya Setu, and then, while building Arogya Setu, he found a lot of gaps in our healthcare. So this is where eka.care came into the picture, and we all are associated here. Prior to eka.care, I was the business head for Make My Trip, where I was given a responsibility to launch intercity cabs for both GoIBibo and Make My Trip. Again, it's like an entrepreneurship under big umbrella. And prior to that, I founded my own company called MyTaxi India, ran that for close to 2.5 years, and raised a couple of $1 million and then took an exit. And before that, again, my story was like 2009 to 14. I was with GoIBibo. So I was fortunate enough that I got this opportunity while the travel space was very cluttered, but still I got an opportunity, and we did some right things, which eventually the biggest merger happened in India, like GoIBibo merged with Make My Trip. So now is eka.care. So now we'll start with entrepreneurship. And before starting, 1 minute. The quote from Peter Drucker, right? So as per him, the entrepreneur, the one who is an entrepreneur, always searches for change and responds to it and exploit it as an opportunity. So as an entrepreneur, you always look for the gaps in the product or in the community. And when you find the gaps, you look for a right product fit and then jump into it to crack. This is what is the entrepreneurship. Moving next. 1 minute. What is entrepreneurship? While there are many articles, many books on entrepreneurship, which is a vast subject, but trust me, if somebody asks me what is entrepreneurship, it is in the real mean, it's a zeal in you and a spark in you. It is not everyone's cup of tea. As an entrepreneur, you have to be your thinking should be out of box, right? You should be thinking different from others. And if you are able to find out gaps in the product or in the community, and then you're tied up with the right product fit along with the gaps, that yes, whether the gaps which I'm finding, if I solve it, whether it's scalable or not, and if I scale, will I be able to make money, basically the revenue stream, then I would say he or she would be the right entrepreneur. While and during the entrepreneurship, you would see many obstacles. Could be related to scaling up a business, could be like that, how do I talk to my customer, who should be my first customer, how do we build our strategies, how do we build right teams. There are many obstacles you would get into it, but yes, the one who is passionate about it and keep pushing himself would keep clearing this journey, I would say. Any questions on this? Would be happy to take it, or anyone who can read out for me if somebody has written in the chat. Okay. Okay, I'll move to the next slide then. So what are the traits of entrepreneur? While I could fix it close to 8 traits, right, which is very important in one of the entrepreneur, right? One is open-minded, which I would start with. So the business is today world is totally very dynamic and a competitive, right? Dr. Preeti, I think the one who is host can keep everyone's on mute, and then whenever someone has to speak, they can raise hand and then we can unmute them.
Yeah, my IT team is taking care of that. I have informed them.
Okay, great. So we were at like the traits of entrepreneur, like while I could list some of the 8 traits which one entrepreneur should have, starting with open mind, right? In today's world where the business is so dynamic and changing every day, one has to be very open-minded, right? So that you can look for the right opportunity and act onto it. So if one is not an open-minded person, will not react to the immediate opportunity. And plus, if you are an entrepreneur, you should be open that the right idea can come from a junior also. It's not that always it's coming from a leadership team. It can come from anyone, whosoever is closest to the business. So one has to be really open-minded. The next is flexible. It's very important for the entrepreneur to be flexible, right? Because the change is the only constant which only constant, and so it also it's also be on the right. I think there is some problem. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay.
Audible.
So On the flexible side, change.
Thank you.
Shall I? I think. So we were discussing on the flexible front, like as an entrepreneur, you have to be really flexible.
मीटिंग कर रहा हूँ
Okay, I think now the one who was on mute, and he's on mute now. Okay, so we were at flexible. So I was saying that the entrepreneur has to be really flexible, and definitely because change is the only constant. So to survive and be on top of an entrepreneur should be flexible. Otherwise, how to react to the situation is totally different, because if you have a flexibility, I'm sure that you would be able to adjust accordingly. And there will be many instances as an entrepreneur, you would realize that, yes, I have to adjust according to this situation, while whether it is right or not. Sometime as an entrepreneur, you have to adjust. Next is persistent, right? So I would make it more simple, like consistency is the only key. Any business or businesses are not built overnight, right? So as an entrepreneur, you have to keep on trying, keep going deep, so that actually you are finding out the gaps and acting onto it. And do not lose hopes, because as an entrepreneur, it's a journey. It is not built within months or a year. Definitely sometimes it takes time. So you keep on trying, keep on adding value to your business, keep finding the right things, and I'm sure that you will get a success. Inform is another trait of an entrepreneur. It's very important for the entrepreneur to be updated about his market, right? So as an entrepreneur, if you are solving for some problem, it's very important that you are really updated about your products. And if you are into e-commerce industry, you really be knowing like what is happening near to you. So let's say I'm from healthcare now, so it's very important for me that I should be knowing what is happening near to healthcare, or what is new things happening in healthcare. It's very important. So as an entrepreneur, you should be really informed. Risk taker, which is really important, right? So what I feel that biggest risk in life is not taking any risk. And risk involves many things, right? So I would say that setting up something new always involve risky things. So here I would like to add some of the real examples of mine. During my work experience, I also got an opportunity to work in Dubai, where I was the country head for Musafir, where I launched countries for them like UAE, Qatar, and Saudi. While it had a fancy job and everything was settled, and being in UAE, I was enjoying the flexible and a good life. But still, I had a lot of push that, yes, I wanted to start something of my own. While I've been trying for the companies under the big umbrellas, always starting new things, I always had a courage, like, why can't I start for myself? This is where I jumped into entrepreneurship in 2015 with My Taxi India. And the risk was, and that time the risk was like, my wife was 7 months pregnant, and I thought that, okay, this is the time. And I was firm believer that if I keep on thinking that this is not the right time, then I would not be able to take any risk. So the phrase goes, the biggest risk in life is not taking any risk. So we should take it, right? We should be open for the change and then move forward. The next trait for an entrepreneur is to be innovator. It's really, really important that one should really think about innovating things. So if you really innovate well, then actually you solve for the community and the country. So keep innovating your product, keep finding the new ways that how can you solve for the community. And that can only happen once you are closest to the business, closest to your customer. Only then you can innovate, because customers are the one who tells the real problems. So please be closest to them so that you can innovate things. Visionary. As an entrepreneur, you really need to be visionary. You should have a clear vision that where you want your company to be. and that vision to be given to your team members, like where we want to be. That's very important. So very important traits of an entrepreneur to have a clear vision. Last but not the least is the great leader. While you have all the traits, but if you are not a great leader, then I don't think so that you would ever be able to become a good entrepreneur. So it's very important that one entrepreneur should have a great leader, because companies and businesses are not built by the individuals. It is built by the right and a great team. So as an entrepreneur, always think of getting right people, getting right team in place, and make sure that you lead them with the right path. Any questions here before I move to the next slide?
Hi, sir. This is Shubhrato.
Yeah.
I have a question. Yeah. So actually, I am into a dilemma of like, I also have a few ideas, but the ideas in a different sector. One is into education and one is into financial services. So what do you think? How do I, if I want to go forward? So I'm not able to pick which one to go for. So
Okay.
what would be your suggestion?
Okay. So, Subrato, thanks for good question. While again, the choice is yours, like which sector you want to put on. But like you said, that education and financial. First of all, what you should look for, a market size. How big is the market for both the sectors? And what are the entry barriers? What is the competition? And if you have this thing in place, how are you different from others? And if you have those things in place, that if somebody has launch X, these are the gaps which you could find out in them, and then you will launch Y. Then definitely draw the map, speak to minimum 100 people, take a feedback that this is the product I'm launching, and what they say. Don't get disheartened if they say that, okay, it is irrelevant. Keep going with your spirits. And when you get the things that, yes, out of 100, at least 70 people are saying that, yes, this is the right, you should look for that. If you launch, what would be the revenue streams? And once you have this in place, then eventually you can decide whether it's a financial sector or a education sector. But definitely you should be knowing who all are your competitors, what are the market gaps, and if you have a market gaps in place, how are you going to crack them?
Right.
If you have this in place, only then you can decide which business you should launch to.
Sure. Thanks for your feedback. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll move to the next slide, which is like type of entrepreneurship, right? That is also very important. What type of entrepreneurs we see? Like I could list close to 7, 8 and couple of others, which I would show you in the next slide. So who is social entrepreneur? So this entrepreneur, his primary goal is to build a business and where he helps or solves something for the community. It's like NGO, right? So you would see that non-profit organizations who are built to solve something for the community. So come into the social entrepreneur category. On the other side, we also have a solopreneur. So solopreneur are the ones who start up their own, right? They take care of daily activities. Eventually, they are not managed by the teams, right? They take care of everything by their own. And some of the examples I would like to quote it, like I'm sure that you must be knowing Sandeep Maheshwari, who's a famous motivational and a YouTuber. So he doesn't have any team. He does everything by his own. While if I talk about for a social entrepreneurship, I'm sure that you would have heard about the name is Goonj, which was launched by Ashutosh Gupta. So this is where he's helping on the community front. Third type of entrepreneurs are like a serial entrepreneur. For them, what they do, they actually develop some modest and big businesses. They ensure that they get right teams in place to manage them, and they move. So for them, then what would be, they launch a business, hand it over to the right team, and then they look for launching a new business. Those are called as serial entrepreneurs. So some of the qualities in serial entrepreneur would be like, they are very focused towards goal setting. So when they get teams in place, they make sure that they have the right goals for them so that they are able to review on time. Their time management is really awesome. They are manage their things as per the defined timelines. And plus, they are the they believe in flexible thinking. Why? Because when you hand it over your business to the teams, you have to be really flexible on the thinking front, because if you have a leadership team in place, you would give them a complete freedom to think of, right? And you have to be flexible with them. Only then they would be able to grow your business to the next level. Moving to the next slots is the venture capitalist. So what they do, they actually invest in your business, take some stakes, and they would also put some right resources in terms of research, in terms of technology, and they will help you in growing. And in our country, some of the great venture capitalists are like, Tiger Global, Sequoia Capital, and SoftBank. So wherever they come, they don't only put money, they also help the business to grow, and they give the manpower too. So these are called as venture capitalists. Then we have a home-based entrepreneurs, right? So these are the entrepreneurs like, who are self-employed. Either they are working alone or it's a group of company, but you would not find them that they have a separate office, etc. So one of the example you could think of, like, nowadays many people have their home product and they're selling it on Amazon, right? So how they operate it from their home, they list their product and then make money. Visionary entrepreneur. So these are the individual, they think that they should solve something for the world and they really want to bring some change, and they visualize pretty high, and they look for a big change. And some of the examples of these entrepreneurs are like Elon Musk. We know that what they have done for the complete world, right? And last but not the least, from this from the list I showed, is the wealth creation entrepreneurs. They are pretty focused. They don't know whether what they are solving. They are very clear that, if they are launching a business, it should make high profits. This is what their vision. So this is called wealth creation entrepreneurs. Apart from that, some of the interesting categories under entrepreneurship is like, hustler entrepreneurship. So they're self-motivated, they have their own dreams, like what they want to do. They would work hard to achieve the targets, and eventually they don't need the investor money. They put their right efforts and make it really successful. Those are called hustler entrepreneurship. You would have seen a guy or in your near and dear ones who started a small business, who had a big dreams. He or she really works hard to achieve those. Those are called as hustler entrepreneurship. Under research entrepreneurship, very focused, and what they believe in, that yes, they have a right idea, and they don't launch till the time they go in deep. They feel that till the time they don't have a right product fit, they will not launch it. Those are called research entrepreneurship, who really go deep, who talk to the customers, who keep on finding how big is the market. If the market is big, how would they make money? They really do the deep understanding of the product. Only then they come and launch. So the last from this type is environmental entrepreneurship. So these are the entrepreneurship who actually launch their product as per the environmental need. So some of the examples are Blue Smart and Ola Electric, right? So we know that the world is moving towards electric. So recently Ola also launched electric scooter. So it's like a environmental entrepreneurship. You act as per the need of the environmental, and you are actually helping the environmental. So this comes under environmental entrepreneurship. Before I move forward, any questions I would be happy to take on. Anyone?
Yeah. Hi, Mohit. This is Rakesh.
Yes, Rakesh.
I have two simple questions. When it comes to entrepreneurship, it is really difficult to find the right set of co-founders or partners. So what's the best way to address this problem? This is the solution which every entrepreneur should think before even sharing their ideas and thinking of founding a company.
Yeah.
Second is related to the categories that you are discussing about the entrepreneurs. So if you can cite some real life examples, especially from Indian community, that would be really helpful for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Okay. So I think first of all, the question on the co-founder front. So first of all, it depends business to business whether you need a co-founder or not. But yes, if you are building a scalable business, I'm sure that it needs minimum 1 or 2 co-founder, and definitely it makes very good team if you have a one business side of a co-founder and the second one is on the uh, technical front. But how to choose it? In my view, you only get to gel with the co-founder whom you know. You have spent minimum 3 to 5 years, whom you can trust, whether you have studied or whether you have worked together. If you have right bonding with them, definitely he or she can be your co-founder. But yes, once you choose a once you choose a co-founder, you should be very clear what is the value they're going to add. Whether he's a techie, if he's a techie, is it a right and a best techie you are getting? Because eventually you would be shelling out your company stake to him. So these are the 2 things one should look for. One is how do you know him, and how whether you're compatible with him or not. Can you trust him? And if you have all these 3 qualities, what is the value he would be adding to your venture? So
Yeah. Hi, Mohit. Harikiran this side
yeah,
from Mumbai.
yeah.
Something like the type of entrepreneurs you said, like I can correlate more into this hustler entrepreneurship,
Mhm.
where something like I always something I try to dream big and to
Mhm.
start small, along with my corporate job. Okay, so we recently, my wife and myself also launched a natural incense stick brand. So I
Mhm.
just want to, and a sole proprietorship only firm.
Yeah.
So just wanted to know the ecosystem. It is built by the government or from the venture capitalist or some other NGOs who
Mhm.
wanted to support the early entrepreneurship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how these hustler entrepreneurs can take help from this ecosystem, like providing some offices or technology
Yeah.
tools, or not exactly funding, but some
Yeah.
infrastructure.
Sure. So I think from my experience, what I would suggest, if you have already launched your business, I'm sure that, like you said, that it's a proprietorship. Definitely, you can convert this into a private limited form, and you should not seek for a help till the time your business reaches to a bootstrap. My suggestion would be just reach to a space where you can say that now my business is a bootstrap. I have started making some money. It's not that you should actually make really good money, but yes, if your business into profit, then you should go talk to the angel investors or some kind of a help from the government as well. But when you are a bootstrap business, that proves that yes, now the product which you have launched has started picking up, and it's a right fit for the community or a society. And why
Great.
do you need help from investor is to scale. This is what your pitch should be.
So
Otherwise,
Mohit ji, yeah, sorry, tell me.
otherwise, getting investor in an early stage or taking in help, one, that you end off shelling a lot of stakes, and second, the things have really changed now. What investor does not look at only the consumers. They looks at that, how does your bottom line looks like? Second, what is the problem you're solving for the community? If you have these 2 things right and you have made some path, definitely they come and help you in this journey.
So Mohit ji, so before going into private limited, okay, after that, okay, we check the product, okay, we are getting great response now. After some time, when we scale up the business in terms of the revenue, then we can approach these angel investors and we can tell them that this is a sole proprietorship as of now. So we will convert it to private limited company. Then we need to take some promises, something like that from them to form the company, or we need to form, then again we need to reach them.
So in my view, when you are clear that your product is right fit for the market, you should look for the private limited from the day one, or now to we have an option that we can convert into LLP, right? So eventually when an investor is coming, they would also see your books, like, how has been the profits and the business so far in last 1 year, 2 years. So if those are the metrics are in place, they have more trust on you. So if not a private limited, at least you should go for LLP. If you're very clear about your idea and you're seeing that, yes, you are getting good traction also.
Okay, so I heard that from sole proprietorship to we can go to private limited company,
yes,
but not we got great information on that. So it is it's an easy process, or it will be a huge task, sir?
so it's not a difficult process. So I did this in my entrepreneurship days as well. So my taxi India was a proprietorship first, right? And why do you open a proprietorship? It's just that you want to save something on the taxes, and this is the main aim, right? But eventually investor takes it, your books, the day you convert into LLP or private limited, because this is where you would be publishing your right books to the Indian government.
Okay.
So we have seen that while he did understand, yes, why we had proprietorship, but it is suggested that when you are clear, you should have a private limited firm from the day one or a LLP.
Yeah, even from the sole proprietorship, from the day one, we are filing the GSTs. And one last question, sir. Can we go the trademarks and copyright register under sole proprietorship, or we shall wait for some more time when we convert for private limited, or is it an easy process, sir?
Setting up a trademark or what is the second thing you said?
Copyrights.
Depend on your product, right? While if you're pretty clear that your product is strong and you have a fear that if somebody should not copy your business, you should go for a trademark when you launch the business.
Even in sole proprietorship also we can take, and later we can transfer something like that, sir, private limited.
I think you can do that. I'm not very sure about the proprietorship, but for a private limited, it happens immediately. So that's a reason, all right things, and whatever you want to take on. So if you have a private limited firm, you can do it. Nobody can stop you.
Yeah, yeah, I know, sir, but only the sole I'm just have a doubt that now we are in the sole proprietorship. Shall we go for trademark, or we shall wait for private limited? That is the only thing. But okay, I will check with the CS.
This is what you should check. I'm not 100% sure, especially on the proprietorship front.
Got it, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your clarity, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Hi, Mohit. This is Satyam. So when you were saying about bottom line, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so bottom line is the revenue, whether you are making money or not. This is called bottom line. So if you do a business of 1 lakh, how much is one you are making for your organization after all spend? That is called bottom line.
And other question that I have is, so there are two things, right? One is when you have an idea and then you're going to invest. Or second thing, you have a prototype or you have bootstrap business. Then after you're going to business founder. So I have an idea, and when I'm reaching out to a founder for looking for funding, so should I sign an NDA before sharing my ideas? Because a couple of times you will see that they are copying your ideas and launching their own business. So is it good, to sign an NDA first and then sharing your idea?
Yeah. So I think signing an NDA is a right strategy, but in my view, if you have an idea, please execute it and don't go to any investor and a founders to look for a funds. If you go deep and launch your product with your own investments, and then you make your company to a bootstrap level, then you should go to investors, because then what is the belief investor going to get ahead? That you have invested heart and soul of yours along with that money, and now the business has also been proven because you are making money. That time they would respect you to a next level. Second, the valuation of your company would be at a different level. So now the fundamentals have changed. Everyone has an idea, but who wins? Who execute fast? That's one. And second, you should look for launching your business, make sure that you take it to a bootstrap level, and then you reach out to angel investor or a venture capitalist. That's my suggestion, and it's always good if you follow that.
Thank you.
Hi Mohit, Vikas here. I need to know about the environmental entrepreneurship. related to draw more knowledge on this. If
Yeah.
I have to search how to penetrate, because already market is
Mm.
going boost in this areas.
Mm.
So what are the keys ways,
Yeah.
please?
So I would like to give a very simple and a very related example. So you know that uh, in India, everyone is moving towards electric, right? So when you know that government is pushing and people are also liking towards the electric cars and electric scooters, so one should react to the environmental entrepreneurships. So some of the example, I'm sure that you all would be aware that Ola has also launched uh, electric scooters. So what they reacted to the environmental, that yes, this is the future, this also complement the environment, so they should react to it. So you should look for avenues, you should look for the products and the gaps and act that how it can solve the environment. And eventually, if it is solving an environment, how can you make money out of it? Hope I was clear on this.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so shall I move to the next slide while it will lead to a questions on you? Uh, so with all these traits and types of entrepreneurships, so a question on all of you, that what type of entrepreneurs you want to be. And definitely, in my next session, which will be towards startup, like as a entrepreneur, when you launch a startup, you launch your company, what you should follow, what you should not, what should be the go to market strategy, what should be the right product fit, how to get good people, how do we approach people, and once the business reaches to some next level, then you know uh, how do we and when do we go to angel investor or a venture capitalist. This is what we would be discussing in my next session, which would be towards startups. And I'm sure that IMT CDL would be reaching out to you for telling on the right day and time. So hope I was able to communicate in this 45 50 like 40-45 minutes. Rest would be for a Q&A. And with this note, I would hand it over to Dr. Preeti, right? And she would take it forward from there. Thank you so much. I'm open for Q&A. Please, in case you have any question, please feel free to ask.
Hi. Sorry.
Hi, Mohit. Shall I say?
Yeah. I think Ranjit, we can go from you. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi. Thanks for this great session, first of all. And I am Ranjit from Singapore. I am really grateful to attend this session. My question is, I'd like to know something on market research, especially from your own experience. Okay, and then how actually the process went for you, like starting from thinking about the customer or market, and then going on till the point that you actually satisfied or something like that.
There's a lot of noise. Yeah. So market research is a vast, right? Because depends product to product, and market research is not that you should do it only online. While definitely now most of the things are available on Google, or otherwise, if you really want to go more deep, you should you reach out to some great marketing and research companies. But as for me, market research has many ways. While you can look for the data available respective to that product, otherwise the market research could be that you are reaching out to people for doing a survey, so that you actually get to know what is happening in this trade. But depends product to product what type of product is, and basis on that you would put your efforts doing a market research. Like for a healthcare, eka.care, which I am currently on. So while Vikalp was building Arogya Setu, and while doing this, he found a lot of gaps, right? This is one of the market research was it. And this is where eka.care came into the picture. And now the next step is we are solving to the core, like we know the gaps and we are solving. Our aim is to digitalize the healthcare ecosystem in India, right? And like we are the platform who allows users and a patients to store their medical records, which nobody does. So as a patient, I can keep all my medical records. But yes, depends product to product, which product it is, and accordingly you would put your efforts by doing a market research. Market research can be done online and can be routed through some research companies, and can also be done by having interns and reaching out directly to the people with a form of survey. Ranjit, hope I was able to give you the answer.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello. Yeah, sir. Yatendra this side, sir. So session is going good. So my question is that suppose we have started something and we got interrupted, delayed by the 2 or 3 months. So how can we boost up our idea again?
Sorry. You will have to come.
Hello.
You will have to repeat. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So suppose we have started something and we got delayed to continue the idea. I have started something. Like from the past 6 months, I am not doing nothing with my idea. Suppose if I want to boost up my idea again, so how can I do that? What is the strategy and what is the process for that?
Okay. So while whenever you launch your product, you should know what is happening around that product. You should know who all are your competitors, and if something has changed in last 6 months and any new competitor has come in or any new products have come in, and if they have come in, then you should compare what was your idea and where are they currently. Have they launched something innovative which is going against your idea? And if that's the case, then you should look for the gaps. Like if they have launched product gaps, you should in your product and then move forward.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. It's clear. Thanks.
Hi, sir. This is Shubhrato again.
Yeah.
So, sir, this whole business we have started, it's on abroad education, wherein we do for this rural places where students are interested to study abroad. But the problem is like we are doing quite good because we are doing it in offline mode. I am not from a tech background and do not have enough experience into it as well. Just want to know how to take it tech way to scale the business, because that's been a problem. We've been to this for 3-4 years, not able to get to that thing. So what your suggestion on that?
Yeah, so definitely one is that definitely we can connect one-on-one, where I would like to know more about your business, like which stage you are, right? But eventually to take the business to the next level, definitely you need a technology support, and for that you should have a right co-founder or a right founding team member who can help you on this front. On the other hand, when you think of technology, you should look for what are the market gaps, while it's either in tier 2, tier 3, what are the gaps you can see and how can you complement to your customer. So if you have those, definitely technology is the only way which you can take it to the next level, because in offline you would some people, while definitely you could be one of the profitable business, but if you have to reach to masses, technology is the only way. But happy to connect whenever we find a convenient time, and would love to understand better.
How do we do that, sir?
Yeah, sir. Yatendra this side again, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, I want to know that, sir, there is any platform is there to get the funding or scholarship in the initial days or startup from the government of India for by or any body?
So Yatendra, in my last conversation also, I had suggested that first launch your business, launch your product. Till the time you are not a bootstrap, you should not look for any help, in my view. Rest, I don't know about your product, and if I know your product more, then definitely would be able to comment on it. But please, one suggestion, it applies on me and whosoever becomes an entrepreneur: show some faith to investor that yes, you have launched a right product, people are liking it, and now your company has reached to a bootstrap level. If you do so, I'm telling you, the interest of investors, it could be angel or venture capitalists at a different level.
Hi, sir.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Hi, sir. This is Anuj from Ghaziabad. I'm into international marketing of garments, right? And it's been around 3 to 4 years. I've been working on my project, but somehow due to my financial
Anuj, we lost you.
So, Mohit, there are two questions. One from Suman Bhattacharya, I can see on the chat box. The question is how to get finance for any startup business. Can we start it as a partnership firm? Is registration mandatory for a partnership business? This is the question from the Suman.
Okay.
Please respond.
So Suman, thanks for this question. While like you were saying that partnership fund, that means it's a proprietorship only, right? And my suggestion would be definitely you can reach out to government or some banks for loans and etc. But the suggestion would be launch your business with your own money, put your heart and soul, get some traction. Once you have some traction, then you look for a financial help. And for a financial helps, there are many avenues available nowadays, right? There are many angel investors, many venture capitalists. Ideally, venture capitalist comes at a later stage, but eventually angel investor would be able to help you out. But to do so, first get your company registered, put your own heart and soul, launch your product, define some milestones by saying that, okay, if I reach to 100, 150 transactions a day or 200, whatever the milestone you achieve, then reach out for a financial help. Reaching out early, tell me one thing, if I'm an investor, how do I trust and what do I have to decide whether I should invest in your business or not? So nowadays on the idea front, everyone has an idea. Everybody wants to do something or the other. But the suggestion would be please launch. While yes, the journey would be really painful, but I'm sure that if you cross that, you would be at a different level. I hope I could answer Suman.
So can I speak now?
Yes, please.
Just wanted to, as I told you right now, that I'm into global marketing of products, some products, garments basically, right? But I have some ideas. I know I have good connect with international customers whom I'm dealing with right now. They are also, but they are into a situation that they ask me to, you can start off your own. But at some point of it, just because of my financial liabilities and responsibilities, from last 3 to 4 years, I'm not able to take that decision. What is your advice that how should I go ahead to take this step? I just need a guide on that.
Okay, so while just a question, you are already doing this business and you have launched it already?
No. I'm working in a firm. It's a global marketing firm. Yeah, but the same profile I want to create of my own, the same marketing business.
Yeah. Okay, I think very right question, and I can correlate with me. So while I also had a financial liability when I jumped into entrepreneurship, your name is Anuj, right?
Anuj.
Yeah.
Anuj.
So I had same thing in mind. Like while I had an idea, and it was an interesting idea because it was into a taxi business. Ola, Uber had launched it for local, and we wanted to solve for intercity. But I pitched to one of the investor. He said that, okay, yes, you have an idea, but why do you have a fear of leaving your fancy job? Till the time you don't leave it, how do I trust? So it's very important that your skin is in the game. Till the time your skin is not in the game, it's very difficult for the other investor or a venture capitalist to trust on your business. So that means, like you say, that you have a financial liability, right?
Yeah.
If you have a trust on your vision, and if you're clear that yes, this is gonna success, you should leave everything and come into that place. While yes, the starting days would be very difficult, or few months or a few years, but think of that once you succeed, you would be at a different level. I think the kind of happiness you would get in getting a success in this business, which you can never get in the private or your own job. So
yes,
push yourself, get yourself into the skin. Otherwise, tell me, as a venture capitalist, if you come to me that, I have an idea and I need financial help, how would I trust that? Dude, you are not able to jump from your corporate job to a business while you were telling me that it will succeed. How do I trust you? Why do I put my money? So please.
Your advice is that I should jump into it and just go ahead with the project.
So while I don't know about your project, but if you are clear and you have actually got the market feedback that it is going to get a good growth and a success, you should jump into it. You shouldn't have any fear. While I also left my fancy job in Make My Trip recent ways and joined hands with my existing colleagues and co-founders of GoIBO. While I had a trust, right? And still I have a faith that yes, healthcare is going to change the world. So what did I do? I put my skin into it. I left my fancy job. Why I left? Because yes, I have a dream that, okay, how can I grow 10x? So this is the vision I have, and I have put myself into it.
Great. Thanks for your advice. Thanks for your advice. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Nikhil.
Yeah, hi. Nikhil this side.
Your
Coming back to
camera.
the environment. Yeah. Am I audible?
Yeah. You are audible. My request would be, if you are asking a question, please open a camera. I think I can correlate.
Okay. Actually, I have issues.
Okay, no problem. You can carry on with the question.
Okay, coming back to the environment entrepreneurs, so you cited an example of Ola Electric. I would like to say that before that before 10 or 15 years, even the automobile sector was into that, and Hero Electric scooters were with Indians. And before the Ola Electric, even the four-wheeler segment like Tata Nexon is in electric variant. So I would like to ask you that can you suggest anything else aside from this? And my second part of the question is, if I want to be an environmental entrepreneurship, and I want to start something new, and in case if the country condition is not conducive to that, what can we do and how can we manage with that situation?
Okay, so Nikhil, while good and a very, I would say it's a good question. I think you're asking me, what do you want to do? So then what I would suggest, I think let's connect one-on-one, and I would happy to take your interest, like where do your interest lies in, so that I can suggest what you should do. But like, in 10-15 years earlier also, people had this electrics, etc. But for every product, there has to be a right time to launch, right? So I would like to give you a health example here. While a lot of companies are and even were trying to digitalize the health records, but after COVID, things have changed. I'm sure that a lot of us would have done teleconsultation, which was not happening earlier, or even it was happening at a very minimal base. So it's very important that right time to launch that product. And second, when you have a right time, how do you innovate? That's very important. It's not that Ola Electric is one of the example, but if they don't innovate, they would fall down. So innovation is also important when you launch a product.
Hello. Hi.
Yes, Nikhil, you want to add anything?
Yeah, but I'm not clear about any other idea aside from electric variant automobiles in terms of environmental entrepreneurship. Can you help me out with this?
Sure, I think we'll connect one-on-one. Not a problem.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Mohit. My name.
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
Mohit. Vikas here.
Yes, Vikas. Hi.
See, if I have a good experience in last coming years, so I have created something. So the first thing is I have to do patent. Okay. Because before launching, before going into the market, my first step should be like I have to patent that idea. So do you really think that as a newcomer which is coming into the market, they have to do patent with his registered into the government of India, under the government of India, due to the it is because nobody can take your ideas and do the copy of the same thing and circulate. And do you think that that type of practices is happening in India? Yeah, how can we myself or somebody else to secure itself?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the right question, and definitely, if you are very confident that your idea is good and you don't want that anyone to copy it, yes, definitely you should go for a patent. But should not be the case that you're not launching a business and first going for a patent. That should not be the case. Because in my entrepreneurship, we realize we launch a business we pitched to multiple venture capitalists, and while we raised the money, and during that course, we applied for a patent. So yes, definitely we should go for a patent for our product so that others don't copy it. But don't bring that term that, okay, I will only launch a business once the patent is applied or I have the patent. So could be a possibility that you are late to the market then, and other one come up with this idea with a different approach.
Okay, so I have to research at least.
So here, how I would like to correlate, you have an idea,
Mm-hmm.
is execute fast or fail fast. And during this course, definitely you can apply for a patent. You should, if you are so confident that yes, or you have a fear that yes, your product is so unique and other can copy, please do that. Or what you can do, you can apply for a patent, but you should launch your company.
Okay. Thank you.
Because the world is moving, right? And all are moving fast. In this scenario, the fast we run, the soon we'll get the success. So keep executing fast. You should be clear that yes, either I will follow two philosophy. I'll fail fast, or else I'll get a success fast.
Okay. Thank you.
Mohit,
Yeah.
can I ask a question?
Yeah. Yeah, please.
Hello.
Yeah, you can. I have dedicated my complete hour to you.
Okay.
Please ask.
So I'm Abhishek, and my question is little specific to this current time. And I am already an entrepreneur. I started my business somewhere in around 2014, and I put my whole heart and soul, and I put in a lot of efforts, and I did well initially. I mean, after 2-3 years, I was at some commercially viable stage.
Okay.
Okay, so but then this pandemic happened, and I had to struggle a lot. Just to brief, my business is into an technology solution. We provide some kind of software solutions. So due to that, I could not, since last 2 years, I would not grow. Although there are some already paying clients, but I'm facing a lot of struggle with retaining my employees, my staff, and growing. So as you are also into taxi business, you might also have faced that kind of struggles in this pandemic. So how should be our strategy to go ahead in this era?
Yeah. So thanks for good question. I'm sure that I think you are sharing a real example. While I know limited about your business, so here I would suggest one thing that COVID has impacted many of us, right? You should look for diversifying your business. Can you try that if you have any other avenues from where you can pick it up? That's one. And second, you should look for that why it has dropped while those avenues have shut down or what has happened. You should look for those. But in my view, you should not stick to it what you were doing. You should find some new ways. This is where call is diversifying the business. You should please look more revenues, and if you look, I'm sure that you will find the path, because being in a business for 3 to 4 years and after that it is hit by because of natural calamities, please look for other avenues, in my view. Or rest we can connect one-on-one. I can understand more deep like what were you doing, and definitely can add my thoughts into it.
Okay, I would like to connect with you one-on-one.
Yeah, please. Otherwise, understand, if I am making
Yeah,
this,
it
I'm
will be safe
manufacturing this, and because of COVID, it has impacted. What I'll do, I'll have to look for some other avenues. Could be that I start doing something else, or I just tweak my pitch to the consumers, or I just build a business which is need of an hour. Right now everyone is working from home. We had never thought that we would all be entertaining through Zoom. While I would say the session went fine, we didn't have much disturbance. But if I talk about 2018-19, we used to not interact online. Either it is getting facilitated in some hotel or somewhere else. So things have changed. So what happened? Like, we found out other ways to communicate. We found out to reach out to people through other ways. So this is what you should do, and happy to connect with you at a one-on-one to understand deep.
Sure, thanks. I'll connect with you.
Sure.
Yeah, Mohit, hi.
Yeah, hi Piyush.
Yeah, hi, Piyush this side. Mohit, I would like to say actually the same business that eka.care, as you have launched in the same idea that there was a competition in a Maharashtra startup event in 2017. I was participate for that event, and there was a contest like pitching your idea for startup. So I got among 320 total participant all over Maharashtra. I selected in total 20 participant. And the idea was same, means fortunately that was keeping record of the healthcare, and there was many more concept that I included there. But unfortunately I could not start, means there was a problem like that I was facing. I was quite fear that if actually I'm basically from not from a software background. So
Okay.
I was thinking to how can I go for develop a website and how to develop an app. If I will approach a third party to develop app, it will get, means idea get someone get stolen and all that kind of fear that I was, so I could not start. But after 2 years I found that there are, means multiple competitor that comes in market on the same idea, but actually I have many more concept about that, means about the healthcare, the gaps. I researched for 4 to 5 months. I created one presentation, and I got means a prize there also in the Maharashtra startup event, but I could not start, means so I want to know, means how can we go for the to digitalize it, means how can we approach to the, so that we can start our idea, initiate our kickstart our idea.
So I think this kick should be in you. So like keep saying that everyone has an idea, but who wins? Who execute fast?
Right.
So you have an idea today. Definitely, you are saying that you had this idea 2-3 years back, but eventually, whenever you have an idea, you should look for it whether it's a right time or not. And we feel that for a healthcare, this COVID happened, and it's a right time now. People are really conscious about health, and nobody wants to touch papers or wants to keep the record. Everybody wants to digitalize their health record, and we have solved pretty fine. Not only on the patient side, we have also built a beautiful and AI based technology for our care providers as well, so where doctors can actually enhance his medical practice. On the other side, since Vikal was with Arogya Setu, so we are also an app where government has given us a right to book appointment slots and download certificates. So that is also one of the connect why people downloading our app, and once they download the app, they can book appointment for vaccination, download the certificate, and then can talk to the doctor as well. And same, this can work a wallet to them. They can keep their medical records along with along with this vaccination certificate. So it's totally on you, man. Matlab,
Yeah, right.
Waiting, if you keep on waiting, others would launch for sure.
Yeah, sure. But if suppose we are on some other ideas, how can we, means approach to the, means to digitalize, means how to we develop app, means how can we go for means how can we digitalize, means
Okay, so like you said that you are not from a tech background, so nowadays many third-party good companies are available. You can search for them. You can tell them that what you want to build, and they would surely help you. While there'll be some commercial involved, but I'm sure that if you want to be in a business, you will have to spend, or you find a right co-founder who knows the technology.
Right. Okay.
Hi, Mohit.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Hello, Mohit.
Yeah, hi.
Hi, my name is Hem Sanwal.
One thing, I'm just sharing my email address with everyone. I think I'm getting a lot of one-on-one message. Sorry, I'm not able to read it. So I'm just sharing my email ID. You all can write it, and I'll ensure that I share my reply. I'm just sharing. Just 1 minute. Yes. Yes. Fine.
So, well, I have been a businessman for almost 18 plus years now. I'm into field of market research.
Okay.
And mainly into data collection, not the ones who shape up the data and present, etc.
Okay.
So with the changing time, we did well. Like I started a partnership firm, then later on we converted the same name into a private limited firm, and then we did good for some 4, 5, 6 years.
Okay.
But with the changing time, what mistake we did is that we did not updated ourselves with the changing time.
Absolutely.
And that was a vital thing that had happened. And now this, because of this COVID again, now the situation has completely changed. So the current situation is really bad for me, and it's nothing has been done for almost two years or so, because everything is digitalized, and we did not ourselves updated with the digitalization.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking was of switching to a job for a year or two, then learn how the things are changing in the market, and then update myself first, and then implement all those learnings into a business.
Okay.
So that way, because for 2-3 years I have spent all my savings as well. So the idea is to without putting in money in research, if I can learn something and then later on put those learnings into business. So how about that idea? Just wanted to understand that.
So thanks a lot for telling this honestly in the group, while I can understand like what you are going through. So I would like to correlate any business, whether it's a small or a big business, if it is not thought through or innovated, definitely it will move to disaster. As an entrepreneur, you should never think that yes, you have launched a business and it will keep on growing more. It is, you always keep on thriving for the success, and you need to keep on innovating. That's the mantra of success.
Right.
Second, as an entrepreneur, in one of my slides, it was there like you should be informed. That means you should know what is happening in the industry. If you're not up to date, definitely you would lose the bus. Third, like you said that yes, you want to go for a job and then come to this business again. While definitely I'm sure that you would have some financial responsibility, this is what you are thinking, but I would still suggest sit and find out like where did you lack, because be in the business for 14-15 years, that means you had a good size of business, good size of customers.
Correct.
And how can you reach out to them again? What is the route you take it? I'm sure that you will have to diversify your business a bit, but you have customers, right? Here, even if you have to go and shell out some loan, you should do it. But taking you out of the business for another 3 years, I'm sure that those customers will go off. So please sit down, think deeply that whether is it the right thing that you leave out your business while moving to a job. Shortcut is like you are reacting to an immediate problem. I'm sure that if I would have been in place of you, I would have thought the same. But my suggestion, please understand what is the core you were solving. You already have a customer base, and if you diversify or tweak your business, can you get some success? And while the journey would be slow, but eventually it will be very beautiful, and you will have a lot of happiness in achieving this.
No, I am one of the director of the company. Actually, we are not going to shut down the business. The business will continue. The another directors will actually keep on doing that. So I'm not going to sell off my shares or something like that.
Sure.
So in that case,
I'm sure that if you're not in the business, who is going to run? So if your skin is in the business, I'm sure that you will put right efforts. But if you get into the job, I don't think so that you would be able to give any time. While you are a shareholder, but shares will only add value if the business grows. If business does not grow, then there is no value of those shares.
Okay.
Right. So the choice is yours, but my suggestion would be please still think through.
Stay into business.
Yeah. And look for the avenues that how can you come back in the business.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Sorry for interruption. Hello,
Sorry.
Mohit, this is Dr. Preeti Sharma.
Dr. Preeti,
So
ma'am,
I think it is already 5:40 and I think we should move towards closing of this webinar. And the listeners, the participants, I really appreciate, and the question answer session was quite vibrant and the listeners have learned a lot. They have got the benefit of your experience, and I think it was mutual. Mohit, you also got something to learn out of this entire webinar.
Yes.
So I would like to thank you, and a lot of comments are there, a lot of compliments are there in the chat box, which people have really liked it. And there are a lot of compliments for you, we will share with you, right? So people are really liking it. And therefore, as we discussed, we can hold a series of webinar in this direction. The next webinar can be how to build a startup, right? So, and I'm sorry being an interruption between you and the listeners, but rest of the questions can be entertained in the next webinar once you discuss about how to build a webinar. Can we agree on this, all of us?
Yeah. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Definitely.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah,
And,
we are okay for that. Thanks, ma'am. Thanks, sir.
I'll be taking few minutes of you because I would like to share about the IMT CDL Alumni MDP program. So only 2-3 minutes I'll be taking from all of you. I would just like to brief you about the MDP programs. And before starting with that, Mohit, really proud of you. You're doing good work and sharing your knowledge with everyone. So that is something great on your part. Really proud of you that you are our alumni. And let's begin now with the MDP.
Inspiration for all of us.
Thanks for giving an opportunity, and definitely anything for the community. If my knowledge can be helpful to anyone, happy to be on that.
So now this is about the IMT CDL MDP program. We offer some MDPs which may add the value to the participants. These MDPs are designed. Some of them are customized. Some of them are umbrella MDPs. So we offer the online management development program because during the time of COVID, it is not possible to offer the offline, right? So these are customized online or offline MDP as per the requirement of the corporates in general. But as of now, we are sticking to the online management development programs. They are aimed to cater to the need of individual or to the corporate clients, right? They are related to a niche area. That niche area could be enhancing the managerial effectiveness, or in the finance area, it could be business valuation. So they touch upon a niche area and they are aiming at augmenting the skill. Because as Mohit said, it is important to innovate. So either you are in the job or you are in the entrepreneurship, it is always important to upskill. Some highlights of the online MDPs are that they are 2 hours for each day, and it is a 5-day program, and it is on weekdays. The timings are quite convenient, 3 to 5 p.m. You can see this. These are the highlights. It is a synchronous learning. It means these are not the recorded sessions. The constructor or the faculty will be there online, and they will be sharing their experiences as well as giving you the specific skill set in a particular niche area. The participants will get the certificate of participation. Currently, these MDPs are on offer. They are in the area of equity analysis and valuation, which is my area. In the area of finance, business valuation is something. And right now we are talking about this is an attractive area right now. We can see the Sensex moving up to 60,000. So, and another area is managerial effectiveness, which is relevant to everybody. Then the another MDP is in the area of managing export-import business and the data analysis and the marketing research. These are 4 MDPs which are on offer, and we will be launching few more MDPs in the upcoming time. So these are some participant speaks, testimonials from our alumni, our participants who have been attending these MDPs in the past. So in the last year also, we ran the same set of MDPs, and the one or two I would like to read for you. From Beneath, it was a quite engaging session. And the last one from Arup, it was hope you will get us know if you have any other upcoming program. So this is about the participant speaks. If you wish to know more, you can visit our website, and the information will be available about all these MDPs. This is all from my side. I would like to stop here, and I would like to once again thank you, Mohit, and all the participants for the great participation. It was a nice session, nicely delivered and nicely participated. So, we hope to see such more sessions in future. Have a nice time. Goodbye.
Right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, sir.